We're gearing up for a fourth Clasico of the season this weekend. As you just saw, Barcelona won the last two. Here are the odds for the latest meeting. Barcelona favourites coming into this one. Let's now welcome in Alexis Nunes, who I'm sure has been having an awful time in Barcelona. She joins Luis Garcia now. Actually, Alexis, the last time I saw you, you were hanging out with Ryan Reynolds. This time I hear that you've been at Barcelona's media day, conducting interviews. What was the vibe like there?
You know, okay, it's a tough life out here, but someone has to hang out with Ryan Reynolds, and I'm so glad it was me. Now I'm back with my partner in crime, though. Ryan Reynolds, who we've got Luis Garcia, and we got to hang out with the likes of Ronald Araujo, as well as Marcos Alonso, who we'll hear from shortly, because I did get to chat to him ahead of this massive El Clasico. And I mean, it was probably the most comfortable, happiest, bubbly Barcelona media day I think I've been to since we've started covering La Liga. It's just a complete change right now. All of the players were so relaxed. Robert Lewandowski strolled in and said hi to everyone, gave high fives to people. You know, everyone from the media managers to the staff that was there were so happy. It was a sunny day. People had their coats off. They were offering us water. I was like, I could get used to this. Barca need to continue winning, because finally, you know, you do see that things are starting to click at Barcelona, and could be for a number of different reasons why they are like that. As you mentioned, they have played Real Madrid in a couple of editions of El Clasico so far already this season. They've got to win the last two that they've managed to play, including that Supercopa win that we were present at in Saudi, where Xavi was just absolutely over the moon. And you just get the sense that something definitely has shifted there. But we know it is El Clasico, and this is one of, if not one of the biggest rivalries in world football, one of the biggest games in world football, certainly the biggest game in this country. And we tend to say that form goes out the rule book when you do go up against a team, especially like Real Madrid, who come at you non-stop. And it was interesting to talk to Marcos Alonso about this, because he actually grew up in the Real Madrid system. His grandfather even played for Real Madrid. His father, we know, also played for Atletico de Madrid. So it was interesting to hear his thoughts before what's going to be his debut El Clasico at the Camp Nou.
Well, it's always a huge game. The rivalry is there, and now it's a special moment. But I think until we are not mathematically champions, it's early to talk about the title. But for sure, there will be three important points to play for, and we will try to do our best and try to get the 3 points.
Do you feel like you guys, in the last two that you've won, do you feel like you've learned almost a formula to get the better of Madrid now, even though I know it's hard?
I don't think there is a formula. No, each game is a different game, but I can tell we are doing well. I think the team is getting better and better, and we just need to keep our heads down, and now it's a completely different game, so we'll have to be as focused or even more as the previous games, and try to get a result.
Well, Marcos Alonso there, of course, as he said, that you're trying to be focused before what we know is such a massive, important game, Luis. But like I said, it feels like something's changed. It feels like such a happier, a weight has been lifted off of Barcelona in the last couple of years. We know that there is still a lot of drama going on outside of the club, but for the players, you know, they can't control that. They can only control what goes on the pitch. And like I said, we got to hang with some of Barca's support staff yesterday. They invited us out to dinner here in Barcelona. And one of the things that they said they've noticed that has changed from inside the dressing room is the mentality. They said that Xavi has brought a mentality. And when we talk about mentality, we usually talk about it in reference to Real Madrid, like a winning at all costs, never say die. Do you feel like Barca now are halfway there or have gotten there?
It's arriving there because exactly what you said. Xavi is a very positive guy. He's a guy who everything that happens on the field, you know that he cannot control it once it's finished. So he tried to approach every single game like if it's the last one that he's going to play. He's trying to bring that winner mentality to every single player on the field. At the moment, of course, all that atmosphere that they created, 9 points give you kind of that. If the things are a little bit tighter, of course, the people maybe around, they're going to be quieter. They don't want to talk about what is happening around, bad things and good things. But definitely, I think that kind of mentality is what is bringing. Now they don't have Dembele, they don't have Pedri, and the team continues thinking about we can win the trophy. They already touched silverware this season, so that gives you an extra boost. 9 points is a big, big gap, and knowing the play against Real Madrid at the weekend, even if you don't win, you're going to still have the chance of having a good gap between the two of you. I think it's very important. And that kind, like you said, the mentality of winning. Let's continue winning. And if you don't win, let's think about what we can do to change that situation. So I think Xavi brought that, and well, it's a joy to watch what is happening around.
Yeah, okay. I mean, Marcos Alonso was definitely not trying to get too ahead of himself with his answers. He was a bit more on the diplomatic side. But Ronald Araujo, we got to ask him and we said, look, if you guys win this one, surely you're going to win the league. It's going to be like 12 points, right? I know it's Real Madrid. And he's like, do you know what? Yeah. He's like, I think if we win this, we're going to win the league. So that is how they're thinking right now. They're going to treat this weekend's El Clasico as nothing less than a final.
Oh, Stuart Robson with us. Obviously, we're hearing that the confidence is very high in the Barcelona camp right now, Robbo. They don't always have to win pretty under Xavi as well, we're seeing.
Yeah, that's been the case in the last few weeks, because I don't think Xavi's actually said this is the way we want to play. They still want to control games. They still want to pass it well. They still want to dominate the opposition and win by 3 or 4 goals. Unfortunately, with Dembele out the side, with Pedri out the side, they haven't been able to pass it quite so well. They haven't controlled games as they normally do. So what they've had to do is defend well all over the pitch. And the back four, and it's been a changing back four at times, have defended well. They've thrown their body on the line. The midfield players, the likes of Gavi, have had to work hard to win the ball back. De Jong's had to be better defensively. Busquets has just sat in front of the 2 centre-halves. So although I don't think he wants them to play that way, when they haven't played particularly well, they've defended well all around the pitch and they've made it hard for the opposition. And that's how they've won games in recent weeks.
We're going to take a look at some of the predictions that you guys have given us. The reason you're not going to see Luis Garcia's and Alexis Nunes is just now is because we're going to get those predictions from those two tomorrow. Now, there's been a bit of a differing of opinions when it does come to the predictions. Stuart Robson and myself have both gone for a draw. Shaka's got Barca winning, but Stevie, you've got Real Madrid winning 2-1. Why are you going for an away win?
I just think everybody's written Real Madrid off. Everybody keeps talking about how Real Madrid are not interested in winning La Liga, which I find incredible, absolutely incredible. And the fact that everybody's kind of written them off, the fact that they're going to Barcelona, the fact that if they do get beat, this is absolutely done and dusted. With the players they have and the mentality that we know they've got, that they haven't always shown in La Liga, certainly, I don't see how Real Madrid don't go and take this game by the scruff and just say to Barcelona, I don't care if you've got a lead, we ain't giving you this. You're going to have to take it off us. And they're underdogs. Real Madrid underdogs. Yeah, I'm going with Real Madrid.
You don't agree though, Shaka?
I don't. As much as well, to Stevie's point, I think Real Madrid are interested in winning the league. They just can't. Barcelona are better, and it's simple as that. And I think as much as it comes down to this game, and this is a game that Real Madrid cannot afford to draw, let alone lose. I think it becomes very open. Barcelona at home with their crowd behind them. Right now, even though Barcelona are winning ugly, I think they're the better of the two teams. Real Madrid have saved their best performances and biggest results for the Champions League. This is all Barcelona have to worry about. There's no safety net in that regard for them. I think on their patch, they get the job done.
Luis, is this Real Madrid's last chance to actually stay in the title race?
Okay, to be honest, you don't win La Liga by winning against your biggest rival. You don't win. Real Madrid is not going to win La Liga winning against Barcelona the weekend, El Clasico. He can get closer, he can do well. Of course, he's a massive team, a top team, but you win La Liga if you don't drop points against Osasuna or against Girona or against Rayo Vallecano. Those are the games that you're going to drop the points and they are going to cost you the league. At the end, Real Madrid against Barcelona is twice a year. They are 6 points. The only ones that you can drop. When you go to all those other places, when you lose La Liga. And I think Real Madrid, all of us that we watch them week in and week out, we all know that they don't have that consistency this year. I'm not talking about Champions League. We are talking about La Liga. In La Liga this season, Real Madrid has been with ups and downs. We've seen a good Real Madrid, medium Real Madrid, and a lot of quite difficult Real Madrid. So that's why I think that it doesn't matter what is going to happen at the weekend. I think that Barcelona is going to get La Liga this season because of that consistency.
Robbo, what's Real Madrid's best chance here then? What approach do they need to take to make sure that they do take 3 points away from the camp now?
I think it'd be interesting to see in terms of what formation he plays. Well, not the formation, but who he plays. I would imagine he's going to play his oldest players and his most experienced players, the players that can maybe run the midfield. I'd imagine Valverde would then play that little bit higher down the right-hand side and Vinicius down the left-hand side. And they've got to take the game to Barcelona because, as I said a little bit earlier, Barcelona at the moment aren't tearing teams apart with their passing. You know, Lewandowski's not holding it up particularly well. If Real Madrid press them high up the field and they have to go from back to front, Lewandowski's not holding the ball up particularly well. Rafinha struggles to get into games when they haven't got good possession. They can't keep switching the play out to him. Be interesting to see whether he plays Gavi out on the left-hand side and then brings Kessie into the side into midfield because they want to be more defensive. So I think the best way for Real Madrid to win the game is to play on the front foot, first of all, defensively on the front foot, and then play their game from there. And when they're clever in and around the box, they're second to none at times, Real Madrid.
A very exciting weekend ahead in La Liga. El Clasico coming up on Sunday. Make sure you are with us for it. Luis Garcia and Alexis Nunes will be back tomorrow with more of the build-up from Barcelona, but be sure to catch all of our coverage, particularly on Sunday as we build up to the big game. El Clasico at the Camp Nou. Dan, Craig and Ale will be in studio. Ian, Dark and Maka will be on the call, and you've just seen some of our team that are up there in Barcelona. There'll be plenty of them, including Alessandro Del Piero. El Clasico watch party as well in Los Angeles if you're in that area at Tom's Bar, and a chance to meet with Hugo Sanchez, who will also be there. So will Herculez Gomez.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.